This little gem right here may just be the most innovative item in the AR world right now. This is a replacement buffer for your AR, and it's made by DPM. If you don't already know about DPM, they make all kinds of innovative products to help mitigate and reduce recoil. Now I know what you're thinking, what the heck do I need to reduce the recoil on an AR-15 for? Well, if you shoot competitively, any recoil reduction is a definite advantage. Also, if you have an AR that has a barrel under 16 inches, something like this 10.5-inch barreled pistol, not short barrel rifle, well, if you have one of those like millions of other Americans out there, then there's definitely something to be said for reducing the amount of recoil that it has. That AR pistol, it is a total beast. If you have one similar to this, you know what I'm talking about. It's not only loud, but it's concussive, and it has a hell of a lot more felt recoil than a standard 16-inch rifle does. Between the shorter barrel length and that ridiculous muzzle device that's on it, it can get a little bit wild. Let's just go ahead and roll in some range footage so we can establish a baseline between using a standard buffer and using this upgraded DPM buffer, and we can see what this thing's all about.
All right, so we're going to test the DPM recoil reduction buffers for the AR-15, and just to establish kind of a baseline of recoil, right now I have my standard buffer in this thing. Let's go ahead and just take a few shots so we can see what the recoil looks like. Then I'll swap over to the DPM recoil reduction buffer, and we'll do the same and take a good look.
So this AR pistol, it feels more like an AK on steroids than it does an AR. We'll go ahead and swap those buffers out and we'll see what the difference is.
Okay, so I've swapped out to the DPM recoil reduction buffer. Let's just go ahead, take a few shots, and kind of do a comparison back in the office when it's all said and done with.
Now's a good time to let you know that I did reach out to DPM and ask them about doing some product testing. And of course they said yes, and they sent out some products for me to test and review. One of the items that they sent out is this buffer system. Of course, I want to point out that I'm not being paid for a review, and I'm also not getting any commission off of the sales of any products through their website. If you guys have seen any of my videos, you know that I'm a bit rough around the edges, and I don't hold anything back. I would rather have a company pissed off at me and not want to do business with me than steer you guys in the wrong direction. I will always tell it like it is. That's it. That's the disclaimer. Even though I'm not a paid affiliate, I do believe in the DPM products, and I want you guys to go ahead and click that link down below in the description. Head on over to their website and see if there's anything that interests you for any of the firearms that you own. There's a list on their site of US distributors. I've found though that there doesn't seem to be any that have the entire product catalog available. So it may just be advantageous to order the products directly through DPM. The site is a little bit hard to navigate, but be patient. You're going to find all kinds of good stuff on there. So this buffer, it is a direct replacement for the buffer that you already have in your AR-15. There are no adjustments or tools necessary. All right, we have two buffers here. This black one, this is the buffer that I pulled out of my AR pistol. You can see that it's just a little bit shorter than the DPM buffer. Other than that, there are some other key differences. The DPM buffer has this counterweight system. The counterweight itself has a spring built into it that helps it return to its original position. The backside here has two springs built into it, one on the outside and then one on the inside. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't truly 100% understand the science behind this, other than the fact that as this buffer travels towards the end of your buffer tube, this counterweight is going to absorb and regulate the amount of recoil that you're feeling. Not only the counterweight, but this side here, because of the springs that are built into it, they're also going to absorb a certain amount of recoil. It's all very sciencey, definitely complex, but also rather simple at the same time. DPM makes several claims with this product. The two that are really to note are significantly reduced recoil and faster follow-up shots. No doubt that the speed of your follow-up shots is always going to be dependent on the level of recoil. Less recoil means that you can get off faster follow-up shots, of course. The big question is, how much recoil is actually being absorbed or removed by using this buffer system? I don't want to speculate and put a number on it. That's something that people always do in these reviews, and I personally just feel like it's fake. It's like, okay, let's come up with a random percentage and say that this is the percentage of recoil that's being taken away by using this spring or this compensator or whatever. So I'm not going to put a number on it. Now, it's really not visible in the shooting footage, but there is a noticeable change in the way the recoil feels. The gravel pit that I shoot at, it is full of all kinds of garbage. People leave behind clay pigeons, aluminum cans, propane tanks. I mean, it's a shit show out there. That's actually why most of the outdoor shooting spots here in Washington have been shut down over the years. During my testing of this DPM buffer system, I was shooting at whatever random items that were on the berm, 25, maybe 30 yards away. Now, I don't know that I would say that I was experiencing less recoil so much as that the recoil felt smoother. And I know that description probably doesn't help. What really matters here is that I did notice my red dot returning to that zero position faster than what I'm normally used to with this weapon. It is a more streamlined transition between taking a shot and being ready for that next one. For the most part, it was a subtle difference, not a night and day difference by any means. So the question is this buffer something that you can buy and be happy with? Is there enough advantage to it that after you buy it and install it, you're not going to feel like you wasted the money on the purchase? To be honest, I feel like this buffer is a bit of an engineering marvel. I mean, it's complex, but its function is also simple at the same time. And yeah, it does change the feeling of your gun's recoil, for sure. I'd like to see one of these installed on a gun that was built for, say, hunting hogs. I think you could see the advantages of this buffer in a gun like that. Something where you need to take multiple shots rather quickly while transitioning between moving targets. I think if you do any type of competitive shooting, you can appreciate the value that this buffer adds. Any gun that has an adjustable gas block can certainly see improved performance by adding this buffer to it. Between the new recoil characteristics from the buffer and making those little adjustments with your gas system, you're going to be able to really customize the feel of your gun. Whether or not the buffer is worth it in your particular case, well, that's up to you. I think most people who have an AR and maybe they take it out to the range, once a month or, twice a month or whatever, this particular product may not be for them. They do make this product for 223/556 as well as 308. So if you're a hunter or if you do any type of competitive shooting, I'd say, yeah, go ahead and buy one. By competitive shooting, I don't necessarily mean you're actually part of a league, but if you want to be able to shoot a little bit faster at the range or at the gravel pit or whatever, yeah, you're going to get a little increase in performance. One thing to note is that there's two versions of this buffer system. This one is the captive spring style. This comes all put together already. All you have to do is pull out your old buffer, slide this one in, and you're ready to go. The other option, which is quite a bit more expensive, That one's fully adjustable. It comes with a bunch of stuff, different springs, different counterweights. That one you can seriously fine tune the way that it performs. That buffer system, that one's going to be complicated. It's going to take a while to dial it in and really figure out which springs and counterweights are going to be best for your usage. That's not the kind of system that I would recommend for somebody looking for a more plug and play type upgrade. Judging by the difference that I've seen with this captive spring recoil system, if you are any type of serious shooter whatsoever, you want to take a look at that fully adjustable system for sure. I think it could really be worth the extra cash. We really do live in a time of innovation when it comes to firearms. We've got red dots, we've got bump stocks, we have, custom triggers. You've got recoil management systems. I mean, the sky is the limit. Now, I may not have the answer as to whether or not you should buy this buffer system from DPM, but I'll tell you this much. Those guys are really working on innovations for firearms. I notice a smoother shooting, easier to handle, and ultimately more accurate gun while using this buffer. Also, just as a heads up, I do have 2 other packages from DPM to take a look at here in the office. One of those is going to be for the Hellcat Pro, and the other one is going to be for a 5-inch M&P. I am in the process of dialing in the springs for the Hellcat Pro, but so far I'm impressed. That is a review I'm very excited to get to in the very near future. Till then, I'm going to keep rotating this buffer system between different guns, different barrel lengths, different features. I'll do an update in the near future if anything jumps out as being, different from my initial opinion after I think put 350 rounds on this thing this last couple of weeks. Till then, get out there, get some range time. There's nothing in life quite as enjoyable as spending time at the range. I'll see you guys back here real soon. Thanks for watching.